we go. 106.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Turn up this podcast.
I'm in this for the money and the pussy, and they're both falling off the trees.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 106 of the Reasonable Doubt podcast. As always, we are your hosts, Eric C. Griff.
And J Money.
How is everybody? Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you like the Super Bowl? Did you also make $5 at the Super Bowl like I did? Because I'm a gambler now. We're back. We're back into gambling.
You almost lost $40.
I almost lost $40, but I didn't because I felt hot.
Yeah, okay.
I knew.
Yeah.
That's what happens when two people bet on the same team to win.
Yeah.
Just by different amounts.
Different amounts. It was a good bet.
It was a good bet. It was fun.
Yeah.
I liked the Super Bowl. Usher. Fucking
Halftime
Ludacris.
show was great. Halftime show was
Lil
awesome.
Jon.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
I don't love that they make the songs so short.
Yeah, I know, because they try to cram like 12 songs into like, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, to like highlight someone's career.
We got 3 lines of Confessions Part 2.
Yeah, it was barely
I
enough.
know, that was all I was excited for.
Yeah.
These are my confessions.
I know. I don't understand. Do you ever get this feeling when you watch the Super Bowl and it's like, this is the peak of American consumerism?
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl and it's the Transformers movies.
Yeah, like...
I love those.
It's weird.
It is weird.
If you watch it and, like, I don't expose myself to that shit all the time.
Yeah.
So I watch it once a year and I'm like, wow, this is fucked. It's like award shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Where people watch it, like big cable events like that.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fucked up.
If you look at the, like, top 10 things watched, like, most viewers at the same time in America, like the top 10 list of that, number 1 is the Apollo landing. Everything else is Super Bowls.
Are you serious?
Yeah, everything else is Super Bowls. There's like 120 million people watching.
Okay, I want to look up what are the most watched events.
Number 1 is the moon landing, which makes sense. But there was also like so many less people in the world then. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, the moon landing.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Let me see it.
Pull it up.
Okay, so the moon landing.
Yep.
150 million people.
In the 60s too.
Yeah, and 69 on July 20th.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
That's a lot.
Everyone
watched
Super
it,
Bowl 2023 is second.
Last year's
Super Bowl. Super Bowl 2015, Super Bowl 2022, Super Bowl 2014, Super Bowl 50, 2016.
Yeah.
Super Bowl 2012 to Super Bowl 2017, Super Bowl 2011.
Yeah.
So it's all Super Bowls, and then at 10 you have Richard Nixon's resignation speech.
Oh yeah.
At 110 million people.
I'm not a crook.
2 Super Bowls. Oh my God. Number 13 is MASH. Goodbye, farewell.
Oh yeah, the
and
finale
amen.
of MASH.
Yeah,
that's
it's
the most
105
watched,
million people.
like TV show finale ever.
Yeah. 15, Michael Jackson's halftime show, the 93 Super Bowl.
Yep.
So it's more Super Bowls. Roots Part 7.
I don't know.
The
what
day
Roots
after.
is.
I don't know what that is either. What the fuck is this? Roots, the saga of an American family.
Okay.
It looks like a black slavery thing.
That would make sense.
Okay. And then, in 22nd place, we have the police pursuit of O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, everyone was watching that.
That's brutal. It is all Super Bowls, though, all the way down to 30.
Yeah, I know. Like American.
Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks comes in at 29.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. But the rest are Super Bowls.
I know. The Super Bowl is the American like Great Pyramids.
Yeah, what is
It's
with
like
that?
that's their monument to their culture and society.
It really is, because you know
they spend so much money on it.
On this, well, the Super Bowl village that they build every year.
Yeah.
They juice towns. The NFL picks some random location.
Yep.
And then juices that town or city or whatever.
Yep.
With hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue.
Yeah. I know. It's like they just pump so much money in that it changes the town forever.
Forever, dude.
Forever.
Apparently, after Indiana, like, Indiana's totally different since they had the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Because it, like, and then people come in from all over the country to go to it.
Yeah.
Right? Which drives revenue that way. Like, people are coming and spending their money
People
there.
start building hotels.
They build
in
hotels,
preparation
restaurants
for it.
get built for it.
How do they pick the cities?
I think it's just a lottery.
Really?
It would make sense that it would be a lottery.
That seems crazy to me.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's, in my mind, that's what the Super Bowl is. Because you have everything, right? You have the hyper-capitalistic part of it, right? Where it's all about money and you have your Super Bowl ads, right? There's the military. The military gets an insane amount of show at the Super Bowl because that's like sporting events in the States are like recruitment ads. They will have like military sign-up booths at the Super Bowl.
Huh.
And like they do it with like when the new Top Gun came out, there was a US Navy recruitment like desk outside theaters for people leaving the Top Gun movie. Be like, you want to join the Navy? Want to be a Navy pilot?
That's fucked.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they've got all the like departments of the military like showing colors. They do the super low flyby over the fucking stadium, get people juiced up on the Army.
You ever fucking... It's crazy how fast they move those jets around and use them as just PR.
Yeah.
Like, I went to an air show once, and I watched the jets, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They do a display. And then they leave.
Yep.
They're gone for like 40 minutes.
Yep.
And they come back, and they announced on the thing that they're like, oh, yeah, they just opened a game in Cleveland. Opened a football game in Cleveland.
Yeah, they're like... Psh. It's like because they're so fast.
Yeah, they just fly over there and then come right back.
Yeah.
And that's like, what?
Oh, yeah, no, they're not just up for that. They do other shit.
While
it's
they're
like
in
planned.
the area.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
It's what they do for that.
Do you want to hear what it says?
What's that?
So, there's been exceptions over the year, but the Super Bowl is often held in a location that's likely to have milder weather during the game. The NFL says the selection process begins with everything says that it's a 600-page document.
Oh, wow.
Yes, to how to get it. But they start by gauging, there's like a board of people that decide. And they start by gauging the interest from all the different clubs all over the country.
Okay.
So 32 owners vote. The 32 owners of the NFL vote on the cities that they want to host the games.
Okay. They probably just vote for their own.
No, they go through like what city they think could use a boost, blah, blah, blah. There's all this different criteria of how they pick it. So it's not a lottery at all. You're selected for it.
Wow.
Yeah, they give them lots of notice.
That makes it makes it feel like it's so open for corruption then.
Yeah, you would think that like you suck the right dude's dick and you might get a Super Bowl.
Because that's what happened with
city.
FIFA. FIFA got caught doing that.
Oh,
for where they were going to host
Qatar,
the World Cup.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time because every city wants to host the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like every country wants to hold the World Cup because that's like another thing that's comparable to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? So Qatar with an insane amount of lobbying, and it's like FIFA, if you like take your eyes away from the blatant human rights violations we're doing. Like they built Qatar with slave labor for the World Cup. Because what they would do is they would like bring workers in from around the world, be like, you're going to help, like you're an engineer, you're going to help with this, but they take your passport when you get there. And then once you're working on it, they're like, by the way, we're not paying you nearly as much as we said, and you can't leave because you don't have a passport.
The Qatar situation was brutal.
Yeah, but that's been going on forever like that. You think France doesn't like suck FIFA's dick a little bit to have them there?
Do you want to hear an interesting one? So the world's largest sporting events are as follows.
Yeah.
FIFA World Cup is number one in the world. I believe it.
That's worldwide.
Yeah, it is the largest sporting event in the world.
Yeah.
From football teams from over 200 countries, like tournament grips the hearts of billions of people. Like there's
billions of people
watch. Next is the Olympic Games.
Makes sense.
Super Bowl is third place.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl, and then Wimbledon, Tour de France, Cricket World Cup, Rugby World Cup, the Formula One Grand Prix,
yep,
NBA Finals, and then the Masters. golf tournament.
The NBA Finals is more than the Masters. I
Fuck yeah,
wouldn't believe that.
basketball's better than golf.
Yeah, I believe it's better than golf, but
Yeah.
so many people watch the Masters.
No, I know.
Yeah. That's
Well,
crazy.
Yeah, but people...
World Series didn't make the list.
What do you mean?
Like baseball
like
World
baseball
Series?
World Series. Yeah, because they have baseball leagues all over the world.
That's true.
The NBA, the reason the NBA makes it, in my opinion,
Yeah.
if I had to make an educated guess,
Yeah.
it's because the whole world has basketball teams,
Yes.
but the cream of the crop
All go to the NBA.
is the NBA. The NBA is the best in the world, and especially since they've opened up to take more foreign players.
Yeah.
And now you've got foreign players like it. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be blunt here. This
Yeah.
is going to sound bad, but it's true. A long, long time ago, the league was predominantly white.
Yeah.
And then they started allowing African American players. And when they did, they quickly realized that the athletic performance of African Americans far outweighed that of white folk.
Well, I love watching bounce passes and chest passes.
Yeah, right?
I love a layup.
They were like, okay, damn. And then the league stayed like that for a long time. Mm-hmm. It was just the odd white guy and predominantly black Americans.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they opened it up to other places in the world,
Yeah.
they were like, oh yeah, other countries are more organized than we are. The NBA for a long time, their selection process for finding stars was to like go to the hood and figure out who was the best basketball player in that hood and then teach him to play NBA basketball.
Yeah.
And like they did that for a long time. They'd be like, go find some kid, give him a college scholarship and get him in the NCAA so they can
Find some
get him
tall,
into the
muscular
NBA
kid and be
that
like...
plays basketball all the time.
Yeah.
Perfect. You're going to get a college education for free. Why? Because we're literally just exploiting you.
Yeah.
And then they started getting them in from these Eastern Bloc countries.
Yeah, the Russians play crazy basketball.
Well, Latvia's the real dream team.
Yeah.
You know? And like all those places, now we have people like Jokic. Jokic is huge. He won MVP last year. He's massive.
Yeah.
Tall, lanky white dude. What I think people are realizing, and maybe they're trying to start doing more in North America, is that where he comes from, Serbia or whatever,
Yeah.
when they teach basketball, instead of being like, you're really tall, you're going to play center.
Yeah.
Or like, you're going to play, power forward. Like, they go, you're going to learn to play every position.
Yeah.
And it'll make you a better player. I was talking to a friend about this bartending the other night. But they teach them, like, you're going to learn all these different positions. And then what happens is their court vision, their view of the whole game as a collective whole is way better.
Yeah.
And they're better team players and they perform better.
Yeah.
Like,
just because of like how the basketball culture is different in those countries.
Yeah, because they don't take people who are just like happen to be naturally talented. They take people who they think are interested in it and talented and then train the living fuck out of them.
Yeah.
And then they end up going to the NBA.
Yeah.
Like Jokic. Man, three of the league's top 5 players right now,
Yeah.
I would argue, are not North American.
Yeah.
Like Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, those guys are both from some fucking chich country, whatever the fuck,
Wherever the fuck they make
some
those
Eastern
guys.
Bloc shit.
Yeah.
And then Giannis Antetokounmpo is from Greece.
Yeah.
He's like a Nigerian Greece immigrant, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So, and then what? And then like LeBron and somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
But
Or
that's
Steph
also
and
just
someone else.
like, yeah, sometimes the natural talent is just enough.
It is.
Yeah.
But I look at guys like LeBron. Like, LeBron did work his fucking ass off his whole life.
Yeah.
He's also super genetically inclined.
Yeah.
But you see a lot more of like MJ. MJ wasn't that good when he first started.
Yeah.
You look at his like college career, like he was good, but he wasn't first round pick. He wasn't the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And then like he developed to be a good player, to be the best. Right?
Played baseball for a while too.
Yeah, he did.
He played minor league baseball.
Yeah. Well, he played all sorts of sports, right?
Yeah, because
like,
he's just an athlete.
he's just an athletic guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's fucking
You should make a run to be the NBA commissioner.
me.
Yeah, why not? Shake it up a bit.
How do you become an NBA commissioner?
I don't know.
A lot of money.
You might have to be like a bit of a wormy guy. Because every time I see the commissioner of a major sports league, they look like they suck.
They look like they probably...
You are also just a magnet for shit flinging.
What do you mean?
Everyone gets mad at the commissioner all the time. No one ever thinks the commissioner's doing a good job of any sport. You know what I mean?
I feel like people generally like the NBA commissioner.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think it was
the
always
weird
that
little
way.
bald guy. I can never remember his name. Steven something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No one ever likes the football commissioner.
No.
No one ever likes the baseball commissioner.
What's his name?
The NBA commissioner?
Yeah. Adam Silver, that's his name.
What a guy.
He looks weird. He looks like he eats souls.
Maybe that's what you need. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He looks like he eats here. I'll pull up a picture for you, folks.
He looks like a ghoul.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But people like him. He looks like he eats people.
Jesus, look how sunken his eyes are.
I know. Well, he works constantly.
Yeah, probably.
That dude,
it's probably a pretty stressful
that
job.
dude does not sleep.
Yeah. He didn't look like that before John Morant. He looked normal.
Yeah, he used to have hair and everything, and then John Morant started playing. He was fucking...
It all fell out. His eyes sunk.
He lost
his
50
head.
pounds.
He can't walk anymore.
Adam Silver was a handsome guy like 5 years ago.
And then dealing with John Morant just fucking killed him.
It was too much. He was like, "Really, AKs?" Okay, keep that off Instagram. I'll figure out how to deal with this.
Stop posting videos of you holding guns, please. And John Morant's like, no.
No. I know, they gave him such a fucking nice warning, and he was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
I know. All you need to do is like hire a guy for $200,000 a year to just be attached to John Morant and just not let him take pictures of guns.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is, again, part of the issue with how the NBA selected players for a long time.
Yeah, I guess. It made a culture.
If you take a guy, I'm sorry, let's be frank. You take a guy who's lived his life being a fucking gangbanger in the hood, and then give him a bunch of money, guess what's gonna fucking happen?
He's gonna buy guns with lasers on them.
Yeah, like...
Didn't they, like, sweep, like, the bus or something? Like, his buddies?
Yeah.
Like, pulled up beside another team's bus and pointed guns at him?
Yeah, it's fucked up, yeah. Like, he's a fucking idiot, dude.
That is so fucked!
It's like all the issues you have with the fucking NFL.
Yeah, well, those guys are a little different.
Well, okay, head trauma doesn't help, but you don't need big... I don't know why people are shocked when some giant fucking hillbilly lineman, and they're like, "Oh, it's crazy. He, like, murdered someone." And it's like, yeah, of course he did. He's retarded.
Yeah,
He's a completely uneducated inbred from the middle of nowhere.
His whole job is hitting people, and you filled a team up of, like, dudes that would be really good at killing dudes.
Yeah.
Like, all these guys would be really good at it.
Here's a bunch of money. Don't go crazy.
Yeah, don't go crazy. Also, we're going to hit you on the head so rich that you have the, like, mental age of a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
who loves violence and money and bitches.
Yeah.
And, like, you expect them not to run a dogfighting ring.
I know. That's why you do see a lot more professionalism with, like, foreign players.
Yeah.
You see, like, Giannis Antetokounmpo? That man is a professional.
Well, I think, yeah, that's the difference of it. Well, also, like, I think if you come from another country, whatever league you're playing in isn't as juiced money-wise as what you would be doing in the States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're just playing, like, professional basketball in fucking Greece,
yeah,
you know what I mean? There's probably not that much money in it right away. Like, you
I
know what I
think
mean?
that, and there's probably a lot more stress culturally on, like, not looking like a jackass.
Well, yeah, like, one, you're not getting paid as much. Two, the dreams of an NBA, like, career are more steps away.
Yeah.
And your league probably doesn't have, like, your league doesn't have the viewership that the NBA has.
Yeah.
So there's not all this money just around you. You have to be a professional or else you're just not going to be in the league.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it if you weren't planning on being a professional.
I love Jokic and his fucking horse racing shit. I'm sure I've said it
What's
before.
What's he doing on the horse? What is he
don't
betting
know
on the
this?
ponies?
No. He loves chariot racing.
What?
He's gigantic. Yeah, you don't
He
know.
races the chariots?
He's done his whole life. It's his favorite thing. He says he won MVP, and at like the post-event interview.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is like so... Or no, it was when he won the championship.
Okay.
When they won.
Yeah.
And afterwards, they're like, are you, like, excited, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, like, it's very nice. Like, I'm glad we won. Like, he seemed kind of lackluster about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like, you don't seem super happy. And he's like, well, it cut... because he was playing longer.
Yeah.
Because they played into the playoffs and the finals.
Yeah.
He's like, it cut into a lot of time with my horses. And, like, he was kind of butthurt that he had to keep playing basketball. He couldn't go play with his horses. He loves it. I'll bring up a picture. He loves it.
Dude, who fucking chariot races? Is this like... Is he doing it in the Coliseum? Like, what is this?
Dude, it's like a thing.
Where's he from?
I think he's Serbian. There he is right there with a horse. He loves it. He does it all the time.
Oh, like, okay.
Like little chariots.
The little ones, yes.
That's him there, folks.
I was picturing like 4 horses and one of the big ones with the huge wheels that you stand up in. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. No, not like
war
that. No.
Chariot.
But he loves it. Look, there's him training a horse. He loves horses.
That's kind of like a weird rich guy thing to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He just loves it. I think he's probably just been around it his whole life. And he said in interviews, like, through his career, that he likes it. He said that it's his love and basketball is his job. And it was like, dude, you're arguably the current best player in the league.
I love when athletes, like, don't like the sport they play.
Yeah, like, he's like, it's fine, I'm just good at it.
You see, guys, there's a guy, he pitches... I think for San Fran, I think. He's like a great pitcher, future Hall of Famer, awesome.
Yeah.
But his love is the rodeo.
What?
He like grew up on a farm
and he just
in like
loves it.
Montana or something like that. They just found out he could throw a ball like 98 miles an hour, and they were like, "Great, you're going to the league." And he was like, "I guess that'll like." He's like, "Yeah, that's great. I'll just play in college. Like, it'll give me a scholarship, whatever, and then I'll go back to farming."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "No, you're really good. You're getting picked up by a team." He's like, "Cool, I could do this for a bit, like make a bit of money, and then go back to my farm." But and you'll see him like his fucking agent must hate him because in the off season when he's supposed to be resting his arm, he's like wrangling cattle.
What?
And he's got like a $30 million arm, and he's like wrangling cattle, and he's riding horses, and you know the one where you ride your horse and you jump off and you have to like hog tie something? I forget what animal it is. Yeah. He does that. And he fucking, and like every time you see him talking about baseball or on the field, he's got this face on or he's like mad.
Just doesn't care.
And then you see him at the rodeo and he's like, yeah!
That's what I'm saying. Jokic is like that. He always is like so stoic in interviews. Like, yeah. And he like gives very clear explanations of things. Like, there's no emotion there. Yeah. The pictures of him, he's like behind a horse, like,
to be awesome, like riding a chariot would be pretty sick.
Dude, it'd be a blast.
I would have to do it with like a spear. And like a shield, you know what I mean? And like with 8 other dudes also in chariots. I want to feel what it's like to be in a cavalry charge.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
It'd probably be sick.
Yeah, I bet you he has a fucking blast.
Yeah, it's probably so tight.
Yeah, it's so much fun, I'm sure. Yeah.
How sick would the gladiatorial games be in like ancient Rome?
Like not to be in them? Not great.
No, not to be in them, to watch.
No, watch.
Like as entertainment, also like you're such a dopamine starved person because life is so hard and all you eat is bread and wine.
Yeah.
Right?
It'd be awesome.
And you've never heard of TV or like the internet.
Yeah, it'd be the one TV show you get to go watch.
And it's like chariot races and dudes dying and like a dude fighting a lion.
Dude, the fact that they would bring lions.
Yeah.
And be like, you're going to fight a starving lion.
Yeah.
Like, they would, because they would, starve the lions for a couple days.
And agitate them.
Yeah.
And
piss them off and then let them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of gladiatorial stuff wasn't to the death. A lot of people think it was.
It wasn't?
Those were, like, the big events. But there was a lot of stuff, too. They used to flood the Colosseum and do, like, boat races.
What?
Around the outside, yeah. Like sailboat races.
No way.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. They had a way to like, because they all had aqueducts in Rome, right?
Yeah.
There was a way to divert water out of the aqueduct into the Colosseum, flood the lower half, and then have people like racing boats in there.
That's awesome.
And then they would do like plays and shit in there.
Yeah.
It was like a public forum for a lot of time.
Yeah, because it was just a public space.
Yeah, the Romans were big on that.
Yeah.
They had like, a lot of the city was like, this is for everybody.
Yeah.
Just use it.
Sounds so nice.
But then, for like 1,000 years, no one used the Colosseum because that part of the Roman Empire failed, right? So what they did was, it used to be marble. They took all the marble off of it, like chipped it all off and used it to build other shit. So it used to be like white marble, now it's like stone. And people were just like living in there, like it was like a homeless encampment for like 1,000 years.
Really?
And then like at some point the Italians were like, it had gotten old enough that people were like,
we should care about this.
We should fucking use this. You know what I mean? But yeah, for a while it was just like homeless people lived in it. They would have like markets sometimes in there. But for like a long time there was no gladiators, nothing. It was like, oh yeah, we used to do that back in the day.
Then we just left this gigantic structure.
But like to them that was like 300 years ago. So it's not like that
old.
Cool
Yeah.
to them. Right? But now that it's like 2,000 years ago, now it's cool
like,
again.
Do you think they'll ever restore it?
No.
Why?
No, they want to. They're partially restoring it right now, but like there's only so much you can do. Rome is really, really big, like the city, on like not touching shit, because it like we can't remake it, and like this stuff is so ancient. Like when we were going down into the metro in Rome, there would be Roman pillars in the wall that they had to like build around because you didn't want to touch it, or they would like glass it off. But there would be like,
so you can see it but you can't touch it.
Yeah, it'd be like in the wall there'd be this column, because when they were trying to dig a metro system through like the oldest city in the world, they kept finding shit.
Yeah,
they would just keep hitting like Roman houses underground.
Why?
Well, because like everything kind of got pushed down and they would just build on top. Like everything kind of gets pushed down into the ground.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, you would like, they would just find like a home with tons of Roman coins in it and vases and shit.
That's fucked, eh?
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
It's so fucked to think of like the stuff that is buried, and honestly,
because it's not here. There's nothing here. There's
here?
there's no old shit here.
I disagree. There's
not that old.
Thousands of years.
Yeah, like what though?
There's lots of stuff, man. Like we're finding now that we've probably wiped out shit that was here. That was like that we've just gotten rid of.
Well, like the natives didn't build like that, though.
They did, though. There's Snake Hill.
Yeah.
Do you know about that in Ohio?
No.
It's a massive fucking hill that's a snake. And from the tip of its head to its tail is perfect astronomical north and south.
That is
crazy. Like within a foot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they're like this, and they're like, people are like, it's just a hill. And they're like, it's not. Like, go and look at it from a plane. It's a snake, and it points exactly north-south. This is a man-made object.
Yeah, like for
it's
navigation.
It's not by fucking chance
that
it looks exactly like a giant snake and points exactly north.
That you would do that you would build that without the ability to look at it from up top.
That they knew.
They never knew what it looked like.
Do you know how many calculations you have to do to figure out exactly where those two things need to be?
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, they were far more advanced than we think. I disagree with the premise that natives were just running around.
Do you think they figured it out by like magnets?
Probably
or like stars.
Probably magnetism and astrology. Yeah, like every culture ever has used stars to figure stuff like that out.
Yeah.
It's the same with like these little pyramids they find in Mexico, and they're like, oh yeah, like it's an old pyramid, but it's just a little pyramid, so it's not that crazy of a thing. Well, then somebody with a fucking brain looked at it and was like, yo, it's a little pyramid on the top of a hill. The hill is the whole pyramid. And they're like, no, it's not. It's full of dirt when you go inside. And they're like, yeah, because it's filled with dirt.
Yeah.
And then they do a quick density scan of the earth, and they're like, it's a fucking enormous, like, 40-story pyramid that's been buried by dirt. Because dirt moves.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense that everyone kind of figured out the pyramid, because it's a really stable way to build something.
Super stable, super easy.
Right? The second they figured that out, everyone across the world was probably just like, yeah. Like, they all came to it
around the same time.
Separately from each other,
Yeah.
but they all figured it out.
Yeah, pyramids are very stable.
Yeah, it's a stable way to build something.
Yeah.
Right?
There's also cities and shit they find. They find cities and stuff in, like, in North America. All over the place, where they think that there was probably, like, a relatively advanced city. The difference is that they used a lot different building material, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're using predominantly organic matter, then when we look at it and we go, it's not like stone.
Yeah.
So then we're like, oh, well, nothing was there. Well,
It
they didn't have fuckloads of stone, but they did have fuckloads of wood and knew how to work it and turn it into things.
Yeah.
So then when it rots, the only indication we have is like carbon deposits from organic matter. Mm-hmm. But they've started mapping shit out from carbon deposits and being like, oh, there was like a whole city here.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of fucking nowhere by some lake up north.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, oh yeah, there was like a massive city here.
Well, what happened to the natives?
Oh, the English.
Not just the English.
And the French.
And the Spanish.
And the Spanish.
And the Portuguese.
Yeah. Yeah, they destroyed it.
They destroyed it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. But you think, like, I love seeing, like, what do you call them? Archaeologists. Like, they're, yeah.
Sorry. I can't believe you stumbled on that
I don't
word.
know why, yeah.
What are they called?
What are they fucking called?
Indiana Jones. He's one of them.
Yeah. Archaeologists, though, like, breaking down their breakdown of like, a journal.
Yeah.
From an explorer, and they're like, couldn't be possible, it's totally bullshit, he's just crazy because he was on the ocean. It's like, you think a man who spent his life sailing and documenting,
Yeah.
that he just lied about a city being there?
I think sometimes there's a little bit of validity because the ocean does crazy things to a man. Especially when it would take months to cross the ocean, right? Of like scurvy.
Yeah.
Like you're not doing
I agree,
well.
but like
I think you kind of got fired if you explored the new world and came back and they were like, what'd you find? You go, not much.
That's not true. There was lots of expeditions where they're like, there's nothing there. Because the exciting thing about nothing being there was...
that you could go there.
You can go there and there's resource.
Yeah.
It's free land.
Yeah.
Like, we can start moving people there and expand the empire.
That
so
is
it was
crazy.
a good thing to find that. So them coming back and being like, well... For years, like, honestly, fuck the field of archaeology. You guys are fucking dumbasses. I actually think that. Archaeologists are fucking
Archaeologists,
morons.
you're on blast.
Yo, you're
fucked.
dumb as fuck. As a field, you guys are fucking have your heads so far up your own ass. It's unbelievable.
With your little brushes.
Dude,
Get fucked.
For like 100 years, you were reading journals of explorers being like, where the Amazon was full of cities, and they're like, now it's all jungle, fucking idiots. They didn't know where they were. They were in India. Oh, they had no idea. And then what do we do? Oh, one fucking LiDAR scan where like the whole thing was a metropolis of cities.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because archaeologists are fucking morons, dude.
Archaeologists have found some cool shit.
They have, yeah, because a non-archaeologist put them onto something.
Yeah, they're like...
That's every archaeologist discovery ever. This is how it goes. Someone who's not an archaeologist finds something interesting and has the fucking brain power to be like, yo, I think this is really significant. Goes to an archaeologist. That archaeologist says, no, you're wrong, it's nothing. And then a bunch of archaeologists come and go, no, it's wrong, it's nothing. And then a bunch of people who are interested in archaeology but not archaeologists start tearing it apart. And then archaeologists come back and then they figure out what it is.
And then they release the curse of a mummy out of a pyramid.
I don't understand this with them though. Why always err on the side of
caution?
No, of like skepticism. Why are you always skeptical? Why can't you? Yeah, I know, but it's overly so. Why can't you go in and be like, maybe there is something here. Why don't we look into it? Instead of just being like, nah, it's very unlikely. everything we've ever found is very unlikely, you fucking morons. That's how things work.
On blast, the
Dude,
archaeologists.
they're so dumb. It's
They're
a
gonna
field
be-
I
they're gonna
can't
be
stand.
pissed.
You can suck my dick.
The only good one was Indiana Jones.
It's true.
Because he did not err on the side of skepticism.
Ever. Or
He
caution.
Safety. Or, he brought that little Asian boy with him.
Yeah.
Short Round.
Yeah.
Crazy name for a kid.
Awesome name.
They brought Short Round around. He should not have been going on those adventures. There were
he
Nazis
should've.
there.
You know what? No, I disagree. That was good
They
for him.
brought a small boy to the Ark of the Covenant.
You know, good. It was a good life experience.
It was, but he could have had his face melted.
I'm sure that shortstop ended up
Shortstop.
better off. Yeah. What's his name?
Short Round.
Short round. Yeah. I think it was shortstop.
No, it was Short Round.
Okay.
They were describing his height because he's short, and then his eyes because they were round.
But he was Asian.
Yeah, they kind of have almond shaped eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone does.
But I don't think this kid had very round eyes. I think he was very Asian.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. How crazy was it?
Dr. Jones! Dr. Jones!
Do you remember how, like 10 years ago, you could just be openly racist towards Asian people and no one would
What are
ever
you talking
care?
about? Japan's still openly racist to everybody.
Well, no, they're racist. But
Yeah.
it was very common as a kid to pull my eyes back and do the buck teeth.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it was terrible. It's not okay.
It's not okay, but for some reason, like, everyone understood. It's like, you don't be racist. That's bad.
Except
Unless they're
Asians.
Chinese.
Yeah, then
you can really make fun of the Chinese.
That's the thing. It wasn't Asians. It was specifically
It was Chinese.
China. Yeah.
But everyone who had like dark, like yellowish skin and slanted eyes was Chinese.
Yeah, they
It
just
doesn't
got
matter.
labeled
It's like
as that.
Koreans were Chinese,
Yeah.
Japanese were Chinese.
Yeah, and they're totally different.
Yeah, and it was like for some reason we're like you actually can with those guys.
Yeah.
'Cause they take it well.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Why? Because
They're
they're
hardworking
good sport
people.
about
They're
it.
good
Like,
sports
what
about
the
it.
fuck?
But then the second they start doing the other eye thing about us, we're like, hey, whoa.
Do you know what Japan says about us?
That we smell like milk.
Well, we smell like dairy because we eat so much of it.
Yeah.
But no, they say this is like how we do the fucking like pull back your eyes, dumb shit. They do that, and they call it dog eyes, and they say that we're stupid like dogs. Yeah, they call it dog eye. You've got eyes like a dog because you're a fucking dog.
God.
They think, we're like lesser humans.
The Japanese really do think of themselves as a master race.
They think they
always
are.
have.
They are hella. We are the superior race. That's what they think.
That was like their whole thing for the last hundreds of years.
That's why they immediately got on board with the Nazis.
Yeah, they were like, Japan is the chosen people of Asia.
Yeah.
We are here to lead the lesser nations who aren't smart like us. It's our job to take them over and lead them into the light.
Yeah.
That was like their whole thing.
Yeah, that's what
But
they thought.
when you base your society on our people are better than everyone else by default, you're in for a bad time. You're going to get 2 suns dropped on your country.
Yep.
And hundreds of thousands of people obliterated. But it didn't stop
2
them.
sons.
That's what they did.
Yeah,
they
I know.
created suns for a second.
Yeah, they're like, boom.
Boom. All the dogs in the airplane.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a mortgage.
Guess what? Yeah, my fucking paws. My paws were able to obliterate Okinawa. So get fucked.
Yeah, I don't know. I think about that
Dog
one
my
a lot.
ass. Fucking German Shepherds are pretty smart.
Like, I think when I was 10 years old, if I would have done like a full black guy impression,
yeah.
I would be ostracized for it.
Oh, yeah. It would be like, that's not okay.
But there were like rhymes. It was like Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees.
Yeah.
You know, like that shit.
Yeah, I know. There's tons of like kids shit.
And like we went to school like Asian kids, and they would just sit there and fucking take that.
I know. Well, that fucking song's on blast now.
What do you mean?
That one that's coming back from that stupid fuck. I'm gonna swear real hard here. Can I swear real hard on the podcast?
Yeah, sure.
That dumb fucking cunt that did the I want to be ninja.
Oh yeah.
If I ever saw that woman in person, I would literally just shoot her.
That video's hilarious.
I'd be like, boom.
when they cut
Did
to
the
the
world a
Asian
favor.
girl watching, and she's
just like, wow, okay. You know why? Asian people took the racist bullshit?
why?
Because they have an extreme cultural aversion to rudeness.
Yeah.
Because they're not rude people. Throughout all of that region of the world, like Southeast Asia, they're culturally polite people.
Yeah.
That's why they integrate into societies all over the world very well.
It's like
because they're super nice and polite.
There's like two types of societies. It's like shame societies, and then there's another one that we are. Like, shit.
We should bleep that C word.
What?
We should
What, cunt?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think we can scream it on here. Wait, no, we got to beep, do a bunch of... We
can do a
cunt?
Yeah, cunt?
Cunt.
We can do that. Okay, so there's 3 different type of societies. There's guilt society, shame society, and fear society. And that's how people deal with each other fucking up. Right?
Hold up, say those again.
Guilt, shame, and fear. So fear is like, if you fuck up, I'll kill you.
Okay, so like Middle Eastern countries.
Like Middle Eastern countries are like fear ones. And then we are guilt societies. So if we fuck up, like we might not go to heaven, or we're going to go to jail, or something like that. Shame societies is...
We're a bit of fear and guilt.
Yes.
Fear and guilt.
A lot of Asian societies are shame societies where if you fuck up, the community will shame you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Well, Japanese, the fucking like trope in Japanese movies of dishonor, right?
Yeah, and you will like shame your family.
Yeah, you're shaming the people that are associated to you.
Yeah, so...
That's a good thing to explain to people, though, because you know what that is? That's ultimately being like, you're accountable for your actions, yes. But your actions also have an effect on other people, and those people around you also look bad if your actions are bad. Like, it's not just you that your actions affect.
Yeah, but that's why that's like people won't fly off the handle so much, because if you fly off the handle and you're wrong,
then you're an idiot.
You look like an idiot and you fucked everything up.
But here, you just be American and you double down.
Yeah, you double down. If you're wrong, you'll get punished later.
Yeah.
Like, which sucks.
I'll take it later. That's fine.
But it's like you might go to jail, or you might not get into heaven, or like you're not going to get your job promotion that you want.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that. That's what you're afraid of. You're not afraid of like how other people see you.
Oh, I do want to correct something that I was wrong about. I spread misinformation.
I love spreading misinformation
I know.
On the internet.
Okay, so the minorly attracted peoples.
Yes, Max.
That was some fucking hardcore right-wing propaganda.
Yes, it was.
There was one instance of it.
Yeah.
And she did end up getting fired. The video that was out where everyone's like, okay, apparently it's because that was the first time that board of people was hearing anything of it. And we're like, play it real cool. Like, everyone just had the understanding of like, we're going to deal with this, but right here, right now is not the place.
Yeah, that's... They like, always... The right
immediately
they
were just like... They were just like, yeah, let's move on from this. And we'll talk about this later. Because this is really bad.
It's happened a lot. It's like the oldest trick in the book that right-wingers do against gay people is they always try to be like, yeah, but gay people are pedophiles. Or, yeah, but gay people want to fuck animals.
Statistically, there's more female pedophiles than there are men.
Yes, it's true. But we have a different cultural thing about it.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
It is. It's like if you were to hear about your boy in high school fucking a teacher, you'd be like, yeah!
Yeah.
But, like, that's rape.
She's a pedophile.
Yes, that's actual rape. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole, like, joking about, like, fucking your friends' moms when you're a teenager. That's also statutory rape. You're a victim. Like, you're a child.
Yeah, I know. It's fucked up to think.
But if you were to hear that, like, a girl in your class fucked her friend's dad, you'd be like, that guy's disgusting.
Yeah, I can't believe that piece of shit.
I can't, like, are you okay?
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like this weird thing where for some reason, I think it's because of the male-female, like, chase and, like, how that works.
Yeah.
You have to imagine who's initiating it, even though women initiate sex, like, just as much as men do.
Yeah.
Just not so outwardly, but they do.
They do.
And in the cases where it's a child and an adult woman, then she's, like, it doesn't just happen to her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She puts some effort in here.
It's kind of fucked up, too, because we use it a lot. Like, it's pretty common for police to use that against people.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, an actual example.
Yeah.
No misinformation here. You can look it up. In Florida, I think it was Miami or Jacksonville, whatever, police department, sent in a, like, 28, maybe 30-year-old, like, let's assume, like, 28, like, fully developed woman.
Yes.
To a high school to try and find drugs and where they were coming from. So she's pretending to be a student.
She must look hella young.
Yeah, but she's also a developed woman with big titties and ass.
Yeah.
You know
it's
what
in
I
Miami.
mean?
She's got a BBL.
Right?
Yeah.
So she goes in and makes an arrest, ends up making an arrest on this kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes out, like she said that he was selling drugs. Comes out that this kid's like a nerdy straight A student.
Yeah.
Never done drugs. Like other kids were coming forward and being like, I can tell you where to get weed. This kid's never smoked pot in his fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, you're
barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, like it's not him. Trust me.
Yeah.
And they find out that she was dating him.
Oh.
And asked him to go find her weed, and he went out as you would. If
you're a nerdy
15,
kid, your big titty
yeah,
girlfriend.
and your fucking smoking hot 28-year-old girlfriend just asked you for weed. You're gonna go. You'd suck some dude's dick to get the weed. Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna do whatever it takes. So he goes out, gets weed, brings it back to her, and she arrested him, and she'd had sex with him.
That's some
fucked him.
damn fine police work.
Yeah.
Open and shut case.
That blew the fuck up. People were like, that's rape. You can't do that.
You raped and arrested a guy for nothing.
Yeah, and tried to ruin a child's, like, whole life.
Yeah.
And the kid's a, like, straight A student. Like, he's, like, scholar student.
Yeah.
And you tried to ruin his fucking life.
It happened in Michigan. It was all online, too. It was a federal agent woman was pretending to be a girl and, like, online talking to this, like, recent Muslim immigrant in Michigan.
Yeah.
And over 6 months, slowly convinced this kid to do a shooting at a mall.
Oh, yeah.
And then as soon as he, like, got to the mall with guns on him, they arrested him.
Yeah.
And it's like...
You
They're like, yep,
convinced
one
him.
more terrorist down. It's like, he wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, he was never on that path. You put him on that path.
They look for, like, young kids in bad scenarios with, like, no relationships that are easy to manipulate. And then I feel like it just bumps numbers. They're like, look at that, another terrorist off the street.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you don't know that this kid was
Here's what I think
do
happened.
that.
I think she went to the school, probably saw that there wasn't that much weed, or if there was, like... It's hard to pinpoint a kid because they're going to be hella paranoid about some new, probably 30-year-old woman. You know what I mean? Like,
she's got, like, laugh lines on her face.
Yeah, and they're like, what's, like, this chick's weird. I'm not selling her weed. Like, that's what I would have thought. And then what? So then she went and just picked a victim. Yeah. Was like, I'm not getting anywhere. I can't go back to my boss being like,
this
I
kid
can't
will
find
be
anything.
easily manipulated.
Yeah, I can nab this kid, no problem. I'll just fuck him real quick.
To really get him on my side.
Yeah, like, or suck his dick, whatever. Still, like, you raped a kid, you know?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
That's brutal.
That's brutal. You tried to ruin his life.
Could you
Poor
imagine?
guy. Best pussy of his life turned into the worst. Like that. Yeah.
Oh my god, he's just sitting there in jail, like, where did it all go wrong?
Where did I go wrong?
I was killing it!
Dude, that's fucked.
Yeah, it's fucked. It's bad.
I know.
That seems like a very Miami thing to do, though.
Oh, it is.
It's like,
it's a Florida thing.
Yeah, you have a problem with weed. Fine. Like, where should we go to stop weed getting into kids' hands?
Yeah.
A kid smoking weed at the high school? Or, like, who's bringing it in?
Or the 30-year-old that's delivering it to the high school.
Yeah, the 30-year-old
bang
with
15-year-old.
with the trunk full of weed.
Yeah.
Like, let that guy through, see who he sells to, and then arrest that kid.
Yeah. This is one thing
And you know, like, that whole operation probably cost their city, like, $2 million.
I know. This is something I remember about high school, and now I'm older, and I have more perspective on it, but I remember when I was in high school that there was guys who were like 28 years old, like my age now.
Yeah.
Hanging around the high school.
Yeah, they hang out the smoke pit.
Yeah, selling weed to people. And it's like...
What a loser.
Yeah, I look down and I'm like, bro, you're a fucking loser. And you're like, also, you're like banging 16-year-olds.
Because they're so mature, bro.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? That's what I'm saying. I look back on, like, when I was in high school, I'm like, if I walked up and saw a dude, like, say I'm fucking have to go do plumbing at the high school, right?
Yeah, and you start
and I see a dude that's my age selling weed, I'd be like, you're a fucking loser. Get out of here.
Scram.
Yeah. Like,
kids, you'll thank me later.
Yeah,
you'll look back on this and thank
you'll
me.
remember that I was right.
I know it seems like I suck now, but remember this.
Don't worry, I'll give y'all some free weed.
You guys don't need poppers yet. No one needs whippets right now.
No one needs
Your
that.
brain's
Stop.
not ready for it.
Yeah.
It's just barely going.
If you want that, you guys go start working in a kitchen.
Yeah, go work at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And just do all the whippets you want there.
Yeah, you steal all their
Stop
nitrogen.
hanging out in this guy's Camry. It's not going to end well
It's
for
so
you.
fucked.
You're going to end up
Actually.
sucking grown man dick, and no one needs that
Dude,
at
you know
14.
fucked? Like, that used to happen.
I know.
The amount of people I know that it's like, oh, some chick that we went to high school with, like, sucked so-and-so's dick for a fucking...
For like
a quad
gram
or
of
something,
weed.
or a gram of weed. And it's like, yo, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I
That's so fucked. Also, as the guy getting his dick sucked, what the fuck, bro? How do you even get hard? How are you not just filled with so much shame that you have a fucking innie like you're in an ice bath? Like, you should have like an ice bath innie from the fucking shame of your retardation.
Yeah, she has a packed lunch, dude. What
Like,
the fuck?
her mom put Dunkaroos in her lunch, you fucking loser. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fucked. Dude, we need to kill people like that.
Yeah, I remember like...
There's enough people in the world. We can off those guys. That's totally okay.
I remember when I was like 14 or 15, like start of 10th grade.
Yeah.
We had like a semi-formal dance. And there's this girl that I was like, I want to ask her to semi-formal dance. But I don't really know her that well. But
Yeah.
I was like dumb.
Yeah.
Right? Like thinking I could just approach a woman and be like, "Who is me?" After we had never talked.
You never spoke.
Like, not really, no.
Oh, and you were just like, you're hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like go up and she's like, no, sorry, I can't. Like, I'm going with my boyfriend. But like, I'd never seen her with a guy at school. And I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, he's going to like drive us and stuff. It's cool. This guy was in college. And he was like dating a 15-year-old. And at the time I was like, well, shit, can't compete with that. He's got like facial hair. And what am I going to do?
Yeah, like
he's got his G2 and a car.
yeah.
Like, what fucking all right.
He has a job. He's
And now
had
looking
a job.
back, it's like, fuck are you doing? Like, you're in college. Do college shit. Why are you still hanging
Yeah,
out
you know how fun college girls are? You fucked, bro?
Like, you can't bring her to college shit because everyone's going to be like, oh, pedophile.
Yeah, oh, you're a pedophile.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't bring your high school girlfriend to college parties.
You can't bring your high school girlfriend home to your parents. What are they going to think?
Yeah, dad will beat your ass.
Yeah, he's going to be like, Jesus fucking Christ, get her out of here now.
Get this child out of my home.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Like, it just shows a complete lack of awareness because any grown man ever knows that once you hit 25, you spend the rest of your life walking on eggshells around kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you are public enemy number one, okay? Yeah. Like, fuck, dude.
I know. It's actually like, oh, well, she's like really mature and she really likes me.
No,
'cause
she's
not. A kid.
Yeah, she's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually brutal.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm not going to say who, but when I worked at a Mexican restaurant,
yeah,
my buddy, like, this kid just we were working, and this kid just kept, like, trying to talk to my buddy every time he went up to the table to, like, take their order or whatever, like, check on him.
Yeah.
And, so he was like, oh, you know what, like, I'm going to be nice, and he, like, comes over, like, just brings the kid some ice cream after he's done his thing, and it's like, I'll just get him, like, one scoop of ice cream. Brings him ice cream, and he's like, here you go, buddy. Like, just trying to be nice. And the parents are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
yeah,
get away from my kid. And he was like, you literally can't talk to children.
You can't.
You just can't talk to them.
Just don't. And what are you going to get out of it?
Well, like, he's just trying to be nice, right? He's like, just being a nice guy.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
like,
it's the lesson you learn. The parents probably were a bit out of line.
they were out of line. If you're in a restaurant and your server brings your kid ice cream
that's a
when they're
social
done,
contract you're part
that's
of.
fucking fine, man.
But you can't, why would you ever talk to, like, a kid at the bus stop? You know what I mean?
That's
It's
always...
like, hey. Like,
Hey, what's up?
You're not going to learn anything from it.
The only time I think it's like, I think it's kind of okay is when there's like, you see kids that are definitely like, they're young to be out like waiting at a bus stop on their own, for instance, right?
Like checking if they're okay.
Yeah, and you're like, what's going on? You waiting for the bus?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. Like, where are you going? You know, like, you're like fucking 8. Why are you alone?
It is weird. Like, some people let their kids start being alone at like 7.
Dude, it's crazy to me.
And you like see them walking to school like on Oxford Street, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing here?
I literally...
You can't be here.
I remember when I was like fucking 18 or 19, I was waiting at the bus. Like, I didn't have my car or whatever, but I was waiting on the bus. And I get on the bus, and there's a kid on the bus alone who's like 7.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I'm riding for a while. This kid's just on the bus, like, alone. And so I went over and I was like, hey, buddy, like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, where are you going? Like, do you need money to go somewhere? Like, what the fuck are you doing alone on the bus, basically? I was like 18, right? So I'm stoned and I'm like, what are you doing?
Are you on?
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here?
What business do you have?
And I was like, yeah, like, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, like, I do this every day. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, like, my mom is gonna meet me. So I rode from like fucking White Hills into downtown and start going through downtown to go south with this kid on the bus. And I'm like, what the fuck? And his mom gets on and is like, why are you talking to my kid? And I'm like, why is your child... I like right away went off because I'm stoned and 18 and I'm like, why is your child alone on a bus? And she's like, why are you talking to him? I'm like, because I'm a concerned citizen. This is crazy. I'm not the crazy one here.
What is he doing here?
Yeah, I was like, you're the fucking crazy one. This is insane. And the bus driver stuck up for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, because she started telling me off. I was like, that's fucked. He's a child. You can't leave him alone. Like, I was like, can you imagine? Like, he's been on the bus. I said, like, he's been on the bus with me for like 45 minutes alone.
Yeah.
And like, you weren't anywhere near. You just got on. And she's like telling me off. And the bus driver was like, I've been concerned about this kid for months and I haven't said anything. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Months.
Thank you. Fuck you, bitch. You're a terrible parent. Yeah.
Like,
it was fucked. The kid was like 7 years old. I'm like, bro, you're an actual like little baby. You know?
Plus, the bus takes you all over town. You could be anywhere if he decides to get off.
He doesn't know where the fuck he is. He's a stupid little kid.
He's got like a quarter of a brain right now.
Yeah. He's fucking rubbing two brain cells together.
He's got a spinal cord, and that's about it.
Yeah, I was like,
no memories.
Dude, it was actually so fucked, and I was so thankful. The bus driver was like, yeah, I've been concerned about this for months, and I've been meaning to talk to you.
I see it sometimes in my lobby. I'll like come home at like 11 o'clock after work, and I'll like walk in the lobby, and there'll be like an 8-year-old sitting on the bench, like eating a granola bar, and I'll just like,
what? Yeah.
At least you're like behind a locked door. I'm not gonna say anything, but like I'll get on the bus, and I'll be like staring at him. He'll be staring back at me, like, what are you doing?
What the fuck is this? Yeah.
It's like kids always like. It seems like they always want to be out and like doing shit, and they'll always figure out something to do, and it's kind of like your job to not let them do that in the city, because they could just fuck off
forever.
They'll just walk away.
Yeah, you know, like,
because they want to find a park and they'll just like go.
Yeah, and it's like a hound dog.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, except they can't bay so you can find them.
Yeah, they'll just go and then
they'll
be
just
like,
go, and then
fuck.
They're like, oh, I'm lost.
Guess I'm living in the playground.
Yeah, like, you know, often it happens that the cops find kids and they're like, what happened? They're like, my mom wasn't watching me. I walked away. And then the mom's like, oh my God, I've been looking for him for like 2 hours. Like, did you call the police? No, you're a dumbass.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, everyone thinks it has to be like 48 hours for a missing person. It's not. It's the second they're missing.
Yeah, the moment you
it's
think
like, we
they're
gotta
missing,
wait 2 days. They could die by then.
Yeah, they're usually dead by that point.
Yeah,
like,
a 7-year-old can't sustain himself.
No. That I actually, like, it bothers me. It bothers me because it's kids,
This is
man,
also
like,
2 non-parents.
Yeah, that's fair. I do have a
If we're
soft
wrong
spot.
on something.
I do have a soft spot for it though, because it's like, man, kids are really innocent, and like
Some of them are. Some of them suck.
some of them do suck, but like some of them are fucking garbage little humans the moment they're born.
Ankle biters.
Yeah, you just fucking put those ones in the garbage.
Yeah, try again.
But no, it's like kids are so. They've done nothing wrong to deserve to be treated like shit.
Even if they're shit, they don't deserve to be left on a bus alone.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, it's like they've done nothing to deserve this treatment.
Yeah.
And they haven't made their own mistakes in life to be in this predicament.
Yeah.
So it bothers me that it's like, you should have to have a license to be a parent.
Yeah, that's eugenics, though.
You know, well, but seriously, it should be like, oh yeah, you can't be a parent. Why? Because you're stupid white trash and you can't have
I
babies.
think just at schools there should be more rigorous, like, when
how
they're
to
young.
parent.
Yeah, like how to parent, but then also when kids are in schools, like, super young, they should
Yeah.
have more enforcement ability to be like, this kid obviously isn't eating enough. Or
Yeah.
this kid shows up in dirty clothes every
I
day.
do agree with the states more. They have more control with that.
Yeah.
And they have like lunches at school.
Yes.
Like it's not
Provided lunch.
Yeah, it's not like here where like kids have to bring their own lunch and they bring shit lunch. Like there they can monitor the quality of their nutrition for a good portion of the day.
Yeah, that's like a huge thing because like when the States and stuff a while ago, tons of kids were malnourished. So the government was like, if we give them like milk and a lunch every day, we know that every kid is having like at least one square meal every day.
Yeah, one decent meal
and
a
it
day.
like skyrocketed their literacy rates because kids weren't like starving.
Yeah,
in
that's,
school.
That's what I'm saying. I think personally, and like maybe I have a fucking negative outlook, but I actually think Canada's current living conditions among our population are way worse than people think.
Yeah, probably.
I think that Canadians and the world, frankly, have this thing where people kind of have their head up their ass about Canada.
Yeah.
And think that Canada's this fucking awesome wonderland full of greatness.
Yeah.
And
It kind of is.
in a lot of ways it is. But I think our general living circumstance is much worse than we think.
Yeah.
Than anyone thinks. We're only a country of 38 million people.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
2 million of them are homeless.
Yeah.
That's an enormous amount.
Yeah.
Malnutrition in children is like 13%.
Uh-huh.
Some crazy high number. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
You know? That just don't eat. Like literacy rates are much lower if you look into them.
Yeah.
Like they're fine by the time they leave high school. But you have kids that are like 12 years old that can't fucking read.
Yeah, I know. It's actually crazy. They're going to be studying this for a while. But for some reason, like Gen Alpha,
What's that?
it's the latest generation. Like after Gen Z, it's Gen Alpha.
These are like kids now, like little kids now.
Like
Yeah.
under like 8,
Yeah,
I think.
okay.
They just can't fucking read the way that we do.
Yeah.
So when we look at a word, like now we just recognize the word because we're adults, but when we were reading, you would like know and understand what all the sounds were in the word, and then you would say all those sounds following a set of rules, and then that sound, you would know what that is. Would trigger something in your brain to link the sound to the object. Like if you said bottle, that sound was enough in your brain. That's why kids like read out loud before they figure out that they can read in their head.
Yeah.
Right? Kids now are looking at the whole word as a shape and then having to take that shape to their memory to know what it is. So, like, a kid will look at the word restaurant, recognize the shape of it, and be like, I know that means restaurant. But if you don't have it in front of them and go spell restaurant, they can't. They don't look at it as letters, they look at it as words.
You know, I would put $1,000 on it that it's from an exorbitant amount of visual stimulus.
That's what I think
Kids
too.
have, man, when we were kids, like, I don't know about most people, I think most people my age, most of my friends, like, we didn't have phones and shit. I was limited to, like, I think I was allowed to have 1 hour a day computer time for years.
And
it was
I
like that.
loved that hour.
I loved it. It was awesome.
That hour was awesome.
It was awesome. And, like, being able to just sit inside and watch TV, like, my mom would literally kick me out of the house and be like, you're outside for the rest of the day.
And my visual dopamine receptors are already cooked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cooked right now.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, if this is just your whole life.
And it's a developing brain. Like, our brains are substantially different.
I can train my way out of this.
Yeah, you can go back to a sense of normalcy. Their brain has developed with the, like, basically them just smashing the dopamine button from day one. Just being like, dope, 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 dope.
Yeah, stop crying.
And it's like...
iPad.
Yeah.
Like, how many kids have you seen in restaurants watching, like, Bluey?
Yeah, what the fuck is that,
man? Gross, crusty
Dude,
iPad.
I'm sorry, but, like...
It seems like bad parenting.
I get it's the norm now, so you can't rag on people, but also, like, give a shit.
Yeah,
give
like,
2 shits about your kid.
I can't say too much because I'm also not a parent, and I don't understand the struggles. But, like, and I understand that if your kid is being a fucking nightmare, sometimes you just need half an hour to, like, of your kid shutting the fuck up.
And just to fucking
and
unwind
you just, like,
yourself.
put something in front of them. And so you cannot be exhausted. I can get that.
I totally understand that.
But, like, I think everyone needs to know what it's like to be bored.
Yeah.
I'm never bored now.
Yeah, I'm never ever bored now.
I'm never bored.
You know what's even crazier is, like, okay, so myself, like, I don't have horrendously unmedicated ADD at all. But
so everyone else is taking his medication.
Yeah, everybody else.
Nasally. Just not him.
But, like, I cannot imagine how amplified it would be had I always been super juiced with visual stimulus. It'd be terrible. Because now I have to tell myself, like, don't fucking...
Put your phone down.
Yeah, don't go on the phone. Don't go on social media. My social media is not on my main page on my phone. Like, if you unlock my phone, my main page has nothing baity on it at all. It's only utility stuff.
Because, it's the second you're like, I'm not being stimulus, like, I have no stimulus right now, it's like,
whoop, yeah, boom. Exactly. And that's where I go. And so it's terrible, and I avoid it. But, like, now I'm at the point, there is so much stimulus in today's world. Man, my number one problem is that I don't sleep enough. Because there's literally not enough time in the day for me to get everything done that I want to get done.
Yep.
So every day I have this never-ending battle with myself where I try to jam as many activities in as I can because my brain's going fucking 100 miles an hour and I just can't. And then it cuts into sleep time. Can you imagine how fucked kids are going to be? Yeah. Because, like, I have the know-how of boredom and self-restraint that I've learned through a life of, like, man, my parents lived in Indianapolis. You know how many times as a kid, we didn't have fucking TVs in the car. I would sit in the car and stare out the window and drive to Indianapolis. Yeah. You know what I mean? There was no cell phone. There was nothing. I remember my mom would let me for 45 minutes when I got older play a Game Boy Color. Yeah. With fucking Pokemon Blue. And that was like on the drive to Indianapolis from London. Yeah. Which is like, I don't know, 6-7 hours. Yep. I got 45 minutes of Game Boy time. Yeah. Not to do the whole boomer, like, we had a blah, blah, blah. But seriously,
like, I remember going to, like, a doctor's office and be, like, in the waiting room for 2 hours with nothing.
You just wait.
And I think about it now when I'm in a waiting room, it's like, waiting rooms aren't even that bad anymore. No. I can just scroll Instagram for the whole time I'm in the waiting room.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, fuck, I gotta stop what I'm doing to go to the appointment.
Yeah, but, like, as a kid, just sit there. Yeah. Fucking awful. I would, like, actually hate it. I hated car rides as a kid because they were so boring.
I liked car rides.
I hated them.
I think when I was really young, I hated them. But as I got older, because I liked music and shit.
Yeah, but I didn't have, like, my own music shit until I was older. I had to listen to my parents' music. And I had to listen to, like...
Kid Rock.
Yeah, they loved Kid Rock. They loved... But, like, none of the good Kid Rock songs because I was too young.
Yeah.
They wouldn't play those for me. I know the entirety of Toby Keith greatest hits front to back. I know them all. I'm not even joking. We had this blue van, and it was, like, the only CD they put in there.
Yeah.
I swear to God. And it would just, like, get to the end of the CD, and they'd be like, do that again. Should have been a cowboy. You know what I mean? I know all those words. And I'd just be sitting there in the fucking seat.
Just losing your mind. I know. It is brutal. I think that as much as and it is a very boomery take.
Yeah, because it is kind of like better to have all this information at our fingertips at all times.
You would think, right? You would think it's better. But I do kind of see what like my grandparents' generation talked about. Yeah. That there's a value in struggle. There's a value in resistance.
Yeah, the struggle is just different now.
The struggle's different now. Now we're giving them, instead of them struggling by like what I would consider to be pretty reasonable things, you're giving them like involuntary life struggles.
Yeah, because now they have to struggle to get like meaningful stimulus.
Yeah, which is way more core affecting. Like I feel like that's not
You were
okay.
like struggling to have fun as a kid like 100 years ago. Being a kid fucking sucked. And you had to struggle and like find any way to make fun.
Yeah.
Now, you're always having fun, but it's not like good fun.
Yeah.
And like the kids will know that they're not like forming meaningful connections with people because half their connections with people are online.
I listened to Steve Rinella say this, and I thought it was like I'm not going to quote it exactly because I can't remember, but it was incredibly well said.
Yeah.
Steve Rinella's like a hunting guy, does meat eater. He's like big hunting guy.
Yeah.
But he said that talking about fun and that how it's evolved. That he's like roller coasters are lots of fun.
Yeah.
But no one sits around and talks about how much fun they had on a roller coaster. He said the happiest memories you'll have and the most enjoyable memories you'll have in life are the ones where you struggled the most with a reward at the end.
Yeah, true.
And it's true. He said some of the best memories he has in his whole life, he's like, are 10 days of me having the worst hunting trip of my life. He's like, I'm out there wet, freezing my ass off. I can't sleep. I'm tired. And then 10 days into this fucking hellish journey, I finally get this big buck or whatever. And then you get to go home and you have all this fun. You get to warm up. And he said, and I look back on it with nothing but happy memories. Yeah. He said, it's nothing but sheer happiness.
All of the memories I have, if I think back to good times, are entirely based around like people around me.
Yeah.
Not what we're doing so much. Like that's kind of
you
the
got
hook.
to spend your time
It's
with.
like I remember St. Patrick's Day 4 years ago. That was a good time.
Yeah.
But then the only thing I'm remembering is like the people that were there and what we were doing.
Yeah.
Like it's not so much. Like, yeah, I remember going to, like, amusement parks with you.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what the roller coaster was like.
I don't remember what it was like, because it's instantaneous gratification.
Like, yeah, and it's fun, and I had a great time, but it was also because I was hanging out with, like, my friends.
Yeah, that's
the
most fun
in-person hanging out with friends.
The most fun I remember about the amusement park is us just hanging out for the day.
Yeah. And the car, like I remember the car
ride with far more detail than a roller coaster.
The car ride home because we got stuck in traffic and the girls were sleeping and we were singing Area Code.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I remember that more than I remember the ride itself.
Yeah.
So that should be a pretty good indicator to people that like these kids don't struggle for anything ever.
Yeah, and I'm also constantly talking to my friends on social media. Always, I've got group chats going. Yeah. I've got meme groups that everyone sends it to. I can't tell you what I sent 2 days ago.
Yeah, literally, I can't.
But I do it all the time. But I can't remember what I sent.
Yeah, I do it all the time with people. I couldn't tell you the last meme I sent.
It's probably the same fucking 40 memes in a rotation that we send to each other. And go, how crazy is that?
Huh. Next,
the N-word. Yeah, I like it.
No, it's fucked though. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, meaningful. That's what I'm gonna leave the people with
that
today.
on. Yeah.
Well, meet people in real life. Do shit with them in real life. It's so much better.
It's so much more fun.
It's so fun.
And you'll have memories that you'll cherish for the rest of your life.
Yeah, when you're old and dying.
Yeah, and though that sounds so boomery, and I thought it sounded boomery from my grandparents, and now I'm saying it. It is incredibly important to have meaningful and happy memories.
Yep.
It really is.
Nobody on their deathbed says, I should have spent more time at home.
Alone.
Yeah, I should have spent more time looking at my phone.
All
right, folks. Take everything we said today
with a reasonable amount of doubt.
Yeah, reasonable amount of doubt. Stay reasonable.
Keep doubting.
We love you so much. Take it easy.
Reasonable Doubt Podcast. If you guys like funny, hilarious, goofy, goober, silly boys podcast, that is a good place to find yourself.
That was a good one.